South Korea is a beautiful peninsula. For any American who is unable to point to countries on a world map, it is directly located south of North Korea. Their landscape includes mountains and hills. You can find modern cities as well as traditional villages and architecture. South Korea's cultural landscape is very diverse. South Korean cuisine consists of rice, meat, seasoning, and fresh vegetables. Meals are eaten on the floor using a spoon or chopsticks. Korean housewives' skills are often assessed by their mastery of culinary arts. Speaking of women, South Korea has equal rights for all genders, but socially, women are still expected to act a certain way in public. Korean pop culture has steadily been moving westward. Korean pop culture includes K-pop and K-dramas, some of which you may recognize. Tourists in Korea can also journey out to small villages where they can experience Korean folk culture. As you can see, Korean folk clothing is very different from modern fashions. In fact, modern Korean clothing is very similar to American fashion. Korean is mainly spoken in South Korea. Big surprise. But English is often taught in schools. South Korean dialect is different from North Korea, so if you plan on going to North Korea, prepare for some differences in the spoken language. The origins of the Korean language are a bit obscure. Some people are speculating that it comes from Altic origins, but this is not proven. The majority of Koreans are Christian, Buddhist, Islamic, or Confucius. Most people are familiar with Christianity and Islam. So for this video, I will just be going over Buddhism and Confucianism. Buddhism follows the teachings of Buddha and is non-theistic. They focus on achieving happiness, and they pursue this goal through meditation. Confucianism was founded by Confucius the philosopher. Those who follow the teachings of him live by a code of ethics. They believe people are inherently good and have faith in humanity. They also have a strong emphasis on honoring ancestors. Generally, people consider Confucianism a lifestyle rather than a religion. South Korea sounds pretty great, right? Believe it or not, South Korea does have some downfalls. Racism in Korea is a major problem. South Korea, in general, wants to be a homogeneous nation, and they achieve this goal through tight immigration policies. Citizens and even tourists who are not Korean find themselves submitted to racial slurs.
Bolivia is a landlocked country located in the central part of South America. It has many different interesting landforms, such as the Altiplano Plateau of the Andes Mountains and Lake Titicaca, which is the highest navigable lake in the entire world. Bolivian folk culture is seen in various forms, such as in the foods that they eat, which consists of mostly meats, rice, and bread prepared in special ways. Dancing is also a frequent activity done in Bolivian folk culture. Many different dances exist throughout the country of Bolivia, but one dance, caporales, has become a part of pop culture as it has spread throughout the Americas. A significant part of Bolivian culture comes from their social hierarchy system. Within the Bolivian hierarchy system, there are 3 different classes. The peasant class is comprised mostly of indigenous, unskilled workers with little language skills when it comes to Spanish. The intermediates are a class almost identical to peasants, except that they have a better command of Spanish, which allows them to get better jobs. The elite class is a small, educated class that is said to be better than the others only because of their wealth. Spanish is the official language of Bolivia because of its widespread usage throughout the country and because of its importance in the Bolivian hierarchy system. However, many other indigenous languages coexist with the Spanish language. The role of women in Bolivian culture is that they should stay at home while the men work and carry out domestic functions in the house. The majority of Bolivians are Catholic. However, many aspects of polytheism and other deities make their way into Bolivian customs and traditions. Bolivians have a strong sense of national identity, although there are various indigenous ethnicities that coexist with the central Bolivian culture. Because of their strong identity, it is extremely rare for ethnic conflict to occur within Bolivia.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is located almost in the center of Africa. The capital, Kinshasa, is located along the eastern border. The DRC is almost landlocked, with one tiny area against the southern Atlantic Ocean. The country is split up into 11 different state-like provinces. The population is fast growing due to the low development. Reliable birth control is hard for most women to acquire, so families tend to be on the larger side. Music and dance is very important to the Congolese people. There is an art and dance festival held every year in Goma. There, people play handmade instruments and display their art. Soukous, a popular style of African music, spread across the Americas in the 50s and 60s. Fufu is a common dish, a doughy bread that is served with soup. Most food has some sort of grain-based food because it is easily found and not overly expensive. Most of the population is in the lower class, with not many high-paying jobs. Women are expected to stay home and take care of families. The government is currently very poor, but there is a lot of potential for the DRC to be a very rich country, with deposits of precious metals and resources in the soil. Recently, there was an outbreak of disease in the DRC, and the government was not able to pay for enough vaccines for everyone. So, they watered down vaccines, making them less effective. While French is the official language of the DRC, Swahili is also widely spoken. There are 242 total languages spoken in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with some of them being regionally specific. Lingala is spoken in the northwest, Kikongo in the southwest, Chiluba in the center, and Swahili along the eastern border. Over half of the Congolese population is Roman Catholic, due to Portuguese missionaries that converted citizens from their traditional beliefs. It is becoming increasingly common to combine Catholic views with animist religions. Animism is based off of the belief that everything has a soul, including inanimate objects and natural events. They also believe that there is a higher power that orchestrates everything that happens. The local Kimbanguist church is growing in popularity, with 6 million followers. Islam has started to spread along the eastern border as Arab immigrants move in from the east.
South Korea, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Bolivia have various similarities and differences. The physical geography of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Bolivia are similar because they are both landlocked countries, resulting in a need of water and not having as much availability to trade routes. In contrast to this, South Korea is on a peninsula, allowing more water and trade flow. Since the Democratic Republic of Congo and Bolivia are both developing countries, they have more elements of folk culture, whereas most of South Korea's culture is considered popular. Each country has different languages spoken within them, the Democratic Republic of Congo having the most variety because of their previous isolation. As a result of colonization, the Democratic Republic of Congo and Bolivia are majorly Roman Catholic. South Korea had no such European colonization, so they did not become a majorly Catholic country and have mostly Asian religions. Ethnicities also vary throughout the countries. Each country seems to have a different level of ethnic variation. South Korea has mostly homogeneous ethnic diversity. Bolivia has a varied ethnic diversity, but with a strong national identity. And the Democratic Republic of Congo is highly varied throughout the country. Even though all these countries are very different, altogether, the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Korea, and Bolivia share many similarities and many differences.